Hey fashionistas, we're here for Project Runway All Stars after show on AfterBuzz TV. Tonight's episode is a kick in the Astro, so stick around and find out who got their Astro kicked out of the competition.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Let the buzz begin, y'all. We're here with shorter panels tonight, but still just as powerful nonetheless.
Always.
How are you doing tonight, ladies?
Great.
Good, ready to talk about this episode, right?
Yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed the show tonight. We had kind of mixed feelings, I think. We hated it. Let's be honest. Yeah,
I think we can all agree.
There was no mixture. No, we hated this runway show. But we'll get all into that now. I'm your host, Michael Shirley, and on the panel tonight, we've got the usual, Michelle Uberreste. Tell them where they can find you. Not on Twitter.
Not on Twitter.
Instagram.
I took myself off Twitter. You guys can find me on Instagram at Uberreste.
Hey guys, and I'm Mayte Carrillo. You can find me everywhere at Mayte Carrillo _. And as always, a live chat's going on right now. If you want to input your thoughts, join the conversation, let us know.
Yeah, Mayte's always got that pop and chat going on.
I do, because we have some loyal fans out there who
Yeah,
join
yeah,
us.
Is Olga in the chat? Yeah.
Oh my God,
there.
yes. Olga was the first one. She's like, yeah, you're back. I think I went into withdrawal without my weekly fix because we weren't here last week.
It feels strange not having like your As If Clueless sticker facing me for the after show. You got a new computer.
I got a new laptop,
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get used to it.
The mega chat going. That's really big. I like it.
You do?
Yeah.
MacBook Pro. The other one I had was like 2011 version, so.
I know, they really don't make computers to last very long these days.
Yeah, totally gave up on me.
Well, tonight the designers are given an avant-garde challenge inspired by the cosmos, and the winner of the challenge got Marques's shoes for their next fashion show.
So they're hoping whoever wins doesn't come out with a collection or whatever, so they don't have to give them shoes. What?
I feel like that's what they should do to like the loser. Like for your punishment, you have to wear Marques's shoes.
Oh, do you hate Marques's shoes?
I'm just saying, given the climate right now of everything, and being that like that company was built on the backs of women that were like sexually assaulted and pressured into wearing these gowns and making this company rise to the top so quickly. If I was a woman designer and won these shoes, I'd be like, that's okay. Like,
you can take them back. Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
A lot of people, though, I guess, are saying as well that it wasn't entirely her fault. Like, they're taking the side. They're taking the side of like she didn't know what was going on. But I think she
You've got to know something is going on.
Yeah.
Like with the sheer amount of people that came forward with all that. So I don't know. For me, when they said that, I was like,
eek.
By the time they got those shoes in the mail, they were probably like, oh, I don't know.
I won't have a collection this year. I'll next year. Delaying it.
Well, the designers, this was an avant-garde challenge, which we all like love. Well, maybe I shouldn't have said that. You guys like the avant-garde?
I love avant-garde.
Yeah,
just didn't love this.
Yes.
End results.
And the winners, the contestants had a $350 budget and 2 days to complete their challenge, which I think that was one thing for us when we were watching it. We're like, well, for about half the outfits, it took you 2 days to make that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it should have, like...
It just, a lot of these looks looked unfinished. And there were certain pieces that looked like they were about to fall off.
Yeah.
Or they weren't nicely constructed as they should have been, given, you know, the time that they had.
There's some raggedy ass construction tonight.
Yeah.
Like strings everywhere, like
uneven hemlines.
Yeah.
And so much puckering. Like it was like a kissing festival. So much puckering. It's like a kiss concert.
Hey.
Do any of you guys have anything you wanted to note before we start?
I was so excited in the beginning, and I was looking forward to it, just especially for Anthony's look. Because I think Anne said, don't use so much shimmer and shine. And I'm like, no, use it.
Yeah.
Use a lot more.
I don't think he used it in the right way, though.
I don't think so either. I didn't even notice it until we got a close-up, and I think it was just little black, shimmery
Well, he's
objects.
actually the first one on our runway show right now. So let's take a look at that outfit. When he was working on it, and I saw those pants, and he was like playing around with them, I thought, oh, those are gonna be super fun. And then when he starts like placing that round plaque on her chest, I was like, what is this? Like
It's like a plate glued onto her chest.
Almost like those Flavor Flav with those big
Flavor
cloths.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's just so bad. I wrote that it looked like my first grade solar system project.
Oh, yeah.
Totally.
And that I did have, you know, hopes for the pants initially, but the round little placard that's supposed to look like, I mean, it doesn't even look like a planet. It looks like space. I don't know why it's round. That killed it for me, like, so hard that I gave it a 1 star, and that was the outfit I was looking forward the most to seeing. It just, that I feel like that's an example how one thing can completely ruin an outfit. I think it took all of the, like, credibility out of it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's really made it crafty. I gave it a 2 just because I loved the pants. And then the top, to me, I mean, I guess the judges loved it, but to me it just looks slapped on. Like, it is just a circle.
Yeah,
like
too literal.
Slapped on.
It's like, you know, only 2-dimensional. It's like not, like if it was a circle, but it was like, I mean, something
curved around her.
Yeah, like
something
to it, so that's not so like, hi, I'm a diorama of space. I don't even know what else to say. The star pattern painting thing was so literal too.
Yeah.
I feel like if you'd taken that off and left it like that, it might have
so much
won.
better.
Yeah.
Right.
Considering the winning look, which we'll get into a little bit later.
That middle part, it was like reminding me of something. I'm like, I feel like I've seen that somewhere, and it's a pop socket. You know what you put behind your cell phone to kind of get a good grip of it?
Oh yeah.
Have you seen them? No? It's like you put them in the back of your phone.
Yeah.
And it's called a pop socket, and you kind of hold on to it.
She got a pop socket.
Yeah, and it's so literal on your like
We're gonna pick her up
your
like
face.
this. Well, it's a total dud to me. Like I said, I gave it 1 star. Michelle, you gave it 2. What about you, Mayte?
I gave this a 2 stars. I do love the pants. I feel like he was going somewhere with them and then kind of just fell flat.
Her hair is weird too.
I like her hair, actually.
I like that comment. Her hair is weird too.
Well, it's like a super weird outfit and then just like a stick on
Little
top
rascals.
of her. Yeah, it's just weird. It's weird. It just
I think I just hated that just a little more than you guys did. It seems like that placard. It's unforgivable to me. Okay, let's move on to a look that's not quite as bad. It's Merline's. It's very Merline.
When you say it like that, it's so Merline.
I say Anne's name like that. Too.
Oh, we don't have to talk about her.
It's very Merline. And it looks like a muslin sample. We were talking about that. It looks like the first round of what you make, and then you're going to actually make it in your nice fabric. And, I mean, I feel like it would be like nice to see it in like an actual fabric, like in a color or leather, not something that looks like transparent, like a.
I kind of love the transparency of it, though. I feel like it adds depth to it. Yeah, and I feel like you can see all these sheer layers playing with one another, and I think in a solid you wouldn't get as much of that. Like, it wouldn't be as sophisticated of a design.
I kind of feel like the transparency kind of brings out to the eye all of her flaws in her sewing
Stitching,
technique. Yeah, because you can see like everything.
But honestly, I think if she would have used real fabric, like, this would have looked so much worse.
What?
Because her
it would have looked like
sewing-
everything else she did.
Because her sewing is so bad. Like, I think the buckram worked to her advantage because it's a stiffer thing that she could work with. It's not like like, she should never really touch fabric.
But you know
like,
what are you doing in this show?
She has really good ideas, but she can never execute them. And I think, and like this really served her well. Like she should just use materials that are not fabric, and she would maybe just win the show because.
Yeah, I've said before. I think she should be a designer, like that just designs her products.
And somebody else
not actually
makes
making
it.
them.
Yeah, totally.
She's just. I still don't understand how she got in the competition with her skill level.
Or stayed so long.
Yeah, even in All Stars.
Because I think she's more creative, and the judges see that, and like we have a real lack of creativity going on in this competition.
Totally. This is the best that they're gonna get. Actually, I actually agree with you, Michael. I feel like this could have been in a different color.
You could still have a fabric that was, stiff. That wasn't see-through.
Or she could have played with a little bit of color in some of the edges, just to make it kind of look a little bit more dimensional.
I think that would have
Painted it or something.
Right.
Yeah.
I think
or a
that
different color
looked...
stitching.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Like
That
a black
cool.
stitching or a pink stitching.
Well, she was inspired by the orbit. So
movement,
I feel like,
I guess.
Yeah, no, she could have played around with all these different colors in the stitching.
She just makes the same dress over and over and over and over. I don't know.
I think she uses a lot of the same techniques, and she's kind of known for that structural element. But you can kind of tell the judges are getting like over it. They're like, if you do this one more time.
Yeah. Well, do you think? What would you think about it being like if it was more transparent than that? I think that would maybe have helped me because that just looks so cheap to me. It looks like
I think it would have looked too
costumey.
I
don't know. It's just.
I think it was perfect for her because she always does these sheer things that she can't line and she can't, So like I think this just happened. This material just worked really well for her because she was able to actually execute the ideas that she had.
Yeah.
But
well, she almost won. She was the second place one tonight.
I can't
so.
believe that. Well, but then again, looking at everybody else's looks, it kind of makes sense.
I agree that she was second tonight. I gave her 2 stars. No one got more than 2 stars from me tonight.
It was pretty bad. I gave it 4 though. I could this to me is a finished product. I could see somebody wearing this to like the Met Gala or something. It's like an artistic,
maybe the only
chic piece. Well, she's an artistic designer. She doesn't make wearable stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's more her look. I gave this a 3 stars. I do like the concept of where she was going, and I do like the sheer, but I would have preferred a different color or some intricacy of some color, something.
Well, next up we have Ken in this little black hole number. It looks like a walking vagina. I mean, we've said this several times in this very competition. I think it's like the 3rd time they've given us a vagina dress.
This just does not give me anything. I felt nothing when this walked down the runway. I have nothing to say. Yeah.
It's like, why would you choose a black hole for your inspiration? It looks like a black hole.
Yeah.
It's like sucking any interest out of the room. Like there is nothing interesting about it. And honestly, if he would have added some detail or silver piping or a color, anything, the shape of it's really interesting, kind of. It's not flattering or anything, but I guess it's avant-garde. But it's just like everything is lost because it's just black on black.
That's what a black hole do.
Right, but like it's not inspiring at all. Why would you choose that as your jumping off point? It's terrible.
I don't like it, but this would have been my winning look for the competition tonight.
Really?
I feel like it is avant-garde,
And it looks kind of similar to the one he did from his last season for avant-garde too. So it's kind of like, what are you doing?
It was all black.
The pants, I mean, I know you guys can't see the bottom in this picture, but they were so basic, bitch. Like, I would have rather this had no pants, and I think it might have looked pretty cool.
I would have liked it better then.
That would have looked better.
Yeah.
Like very 60s. I don't know why the pant. I don't really know at all why the pant. They're not stylish by any means. But yeah, I would have given this the winning look because I feel like it did hit every mark, although the taste level's kind of off. It does look like a black hole.
And it looks like a what else?
It looks like a black hole, and it does look avant-garde.
I agree. I
mean,
just
it's
lose
not
the
something
pants.
you would wear to church or school or like the grocery store or whatever. So.
Or here.
But it's kind of too boring for avant-garde too. Like it's just kind of like a capelet,
it's
right?
like prehistoric avant-garde.
Yeah.
Like if you were to watch this down the runway, it just wouldn't give me anything. It'd be like it's just.
Well, I just
bag.
imagine it without pants. Although it does kind of just stop at her crotch.
I do think at least without the pants, it would kind of accentuate the shape of the top.
The wholeness of the dress.
I see what you did there.
How many stars did you guys give it? You guys like hated this one.
One.
Oh my god, what dirty host left sticky stuff all here? Ugh, I'm gonna come find you. All right, next up we have a look I thoroughly hated. Thoroughly. Fabio.
Those heels though. I love those heels on her.
That was from the intermix wall.
Hey, as long as it wasn't from the JCPenney wall, I'm okay.
I wrote looked puckered like everywhere, all everywhere. Very ugly. And it looks like a worn out heirloom.
This looks more of like a coat to me than anything else.
Isn't it?
Yeah. Is it? I thought it was like a dress style.
I think it's, I thought it was kind
Either
of a
or?
coat type thing too. I don't know.
Just because if it's a little bit loose.
I don't think with Fabio you can tell what it is because his stuff is always like, is it a coat? Is it a tunic?
His
Is it
outfit today, can we talk about it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Bomber jacket and maxi dress.
Yeah.
And then it looked like he was wearing pants underneath too.
He's such a weird one. And his little confessional, or what is that called? It's not called confessional.
Yeah.
Anyways, that little outfit, he was wearing like a weird old
Metal necklace.
clunky old metal
Oh,
necklace.
I didn't
and
see
it,
that.
and it was on top of like a button-down shirt. It wasn't even like tucked under the collar. It just looked so
Oh.
janky. I don't like his style like at all. I've been wanting him to go home for a while. You kind of like him though, don't you, Michelle?
Yeah.
What did you write about this?
I liked it. I like
You
the
do?
color.
Okay,
I like
Georgina
the
Chapman.
idea of the fringe. I think it's just he had a different take. Like everybody took it so literal. Like I need to make a, like a space-looking outfit with weird shapes on it, and that'll make it avant-garde. And he was like thinking a little bit more. He was being more intellectual about it. And everybody kind of did black or I need to put rhinestones. And to me, this was like one of the more expensive-looking pieces. Like I could see this. Like yes, he could have cleaned it up a little bit, but like I could see this on a runway and people love it. I think it could be tweaked here and there, but the color was good, the braiding was cool, the technique was cool. She kind of looks like an intergalactic space princess, but not in such a literal way.
Yeah, I do like this look as well. And I'm a fan of braiding. So the fact that he was able to do that instead of using the actual fabric for the sleeves made a huge difference. The only thing that I did not like was this portion up top here because it looked so confusing and it looked too big on her. Right, it looked too big on her. And I didn't mind the length of it either because I think one of the judges said the length was kind of uneven, or if it was structured more, it could have looked better. But I don't mind it. And I don't mind the black pants either underneath it.
I almost wish she would have lost the pants because then you would see this more as like a kind of tunic dress type thing and it wouldn't feel quite as heavy because the dress is really heavy.
It is so heavy for like a dress.
But I think without the pants, it would have just added a little more.
I think it stands out a little bit more with the pants. But I could see it, I guess.
I would like the length better, I think, without, but
I'm very displeased, like just with this outfit. Ugh. I just don't like this
Not your cup of tea?
No, I do get Neptune vibes from it, but not in a great way.
You don't like what he did with the fringe? I think it was like a different take that he took with, instead of choosing just regular fabric. And it was the only, I think, piece of fabric that he chose because he's like, I can't work around anything else because the fringe is the only thing that
It was just really hard to evaluate because
literally
maybe all the puckering was because it wasn't fitting her well. Like maybe it needed on like a bigger woman to see it. It looked like it was not on the right size model, so I couldn't really see much of an outfit. It just looked like clothes, like weird clothes.
It wasn't nicely fitted to her.
That's kind of
for
his
sure.
aesthetic, though. It's like this oversized,
Well, it's
boxy.
fine if it's oversized, but
But there's certain
with that
things.
fabric,
I
it
know.
didn't lend to like he had like a little belt tied around it, and it just wasn't.
Yeah.
It looked too big.
No bueno. Next up, Helen.
Mm.
She's something else.
This was a hot mess.
Word.
That hair was a hot mess.
Word.
She like just walked out of a tornado and she's like, I'm still gonna work it.
Literally a garbage bag with trash hanging out. Like tacky fashion school fashion show.
But the fabric did look supernova.
I hated that fabric. Like you weren't sure if it was like wet or like matte or what. It was just all kinds of wrong. It looked like cheap kind of, I don't know, it looked like a garbage bag to me. It was just
The model looked super unhappy too.
bored,
No.
like so bored.
Bored, but also like, I don't want to be here.
Exactly.
like everyone's laughing at me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted this to be like kind of cool punk. And if you kind of like squint your eyes, it's a little cooler than like it is. But like when you get close and
It's
see
the
that little
makeup.
thing that's hanging down, it's
Yeah,
got,
like
raw
I just
edges
can't look
and-
at her face or her hair. Like cut off.
You don't like the head?
Just can't look at her head.
That head's fine to me. I think the hair's funny and like kind of like punk rock.
No.
It doesn't.
The
it
makeup's
just.
kinda
It.
crap,
It.
but-
I think it's more the makeup.
It.
It reminds me of that movie, The Fabulous Stains. I don't know if you guys ever seen it. It's got Diane Lane, like one of Diane Lane's first movies when she was like a teenager and she's in a punk rock band.
Oh.
It's like an all-girl punk rock
But it just
band.
doesn't lend itself to the outfit, or like.
Oh, I gave it 1 star. I hated it. Like, I'm not defending
And it
this at all.
accentuates like her boredom, like those eyes painted, and she's like, I'm dead inside."
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I can't.
I don't understand why that model walked like that.
Olga on her live chat says, Miss Galaxy 20... Oh, I thought she put 2018. 2518 contestant. And Charlene says, it looks really cheap.
Yeah.
And Irish Pogi says, looks like the look that got Amy Sarabi eliminated from season 7, but without the hairy breast. Ooh, without the hairy breast. Okay.
Oh.
I don't know about that one. I don't recall. But yeah, I wanted to like this, but I couldn't. It was 1 star.
So weird. It just doesn't even look like hell. Like I would never, if I had, a blind
Yeah,
runway.
you
and I
wouldn't
was
think that was her.
I'd
No.
never choose this to be hers. I gave it a 1 too.
Yeah, I gave this a 1 star too. I put so confused right when she
You thought
walked
this
out.
looked real cheap too.
Yeah, it did look cheap.
All right, now up to the I don't know what you would call this, the main event. This outfit, kind of resting in the middle of the runway show. A big crescendo in it, I think, kind of made everyone look a couple times. What do y'all think? Joshua's dress.
Where do I
think?
even start? I don't.
The color choice
Colors were
here,
bad, really.
yeah, it's just not giving this outfit any life.
You know.
And I actually like the idea that he tried something different with the glue
Yeah, I do too.
because he made a design out of it, and it
wasn't
looked
getting
nice.
ice from it.
I know you
He
weren't.
was wanting ice.
Yeah.
I
Well,
would have had long streaks instead of like these like maze
think he took it really
kinda, like
literal.
funnel cake kind of thing he did.
yeah, but I think the placement of it as well was a little awkward because he had like a piece of glue hanging from the back, from her lower back.
It's
and
like
it was,
that ninja sash.
yeah.
Like that hangs down.
Right.
Yeah.
So that looked really awkward. So I think he should have just kept it from probably the waist up and not used it so pretty much all in your face everywhere, front and back.
What about you, Michelle?
The colors were so off to me. It kind of ruined the whole thing. And I like the idea of the glue too, but I liked it better when he was putting it on the blue tape in the workroom. I thought, okay, blue and the ice, and I could see this
Oh.
like kind of ice queen, frozen space princess idea coming together. But then it's like too many elements, weird colors.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, you don't know what's going on
And
underneath.
I like mixing textures a lot, but this does not work at all for me.
Well, you mentioned when there was like that, when it was on the dress form on that blue, either tape or fabric or whatever that was, when
I
he was
think it was
making the
tape, yeah.
mold. I wasn't sure if his dress was going to be blue, and I was thinking, this is a Monica Lewinsky dress.
I think.
Oh my God.
I think it could go that way, but I think, it depends on the technique. It's like you said, if you do the streaks or you do some kind of pattern with it.
I wasn't getting ice from it.
Right.
I was getting
was thinking
bodily
ice.
fluids.
Ew.
Well, one of the judges said it looks like a queen of a like a space queen from a porno movie.
At
and
the
then
very
Jesse
end.
Ferguson, his name's Jesse Ferguson, right? He said it looks like the very last scene from a porno movie. And Michelle goes, "Oh," when we were watching that.
We both did it at the same time. We're like, oof.
I was
Okay.
thinking it the whole time. It looks real spitty and yucky.
Yeah, your facial reaction. If we could record that, that would be hilarious.
think, like-
Because it's just
I think
out of
like
this
the little
world.
bit of hat that was on her head was what
That was
cracked
the
me
weirdest part.
up the
Yeah.
most. It looked like
I didn't get that.
it looked gross.
But the attitude that he showed the
He
judges.
got
Oh, yeah.
mad.
I mean, I was like, where did that come
Anne
from? So
warned him.
defensive.
I don't understand. Like, I wonder if he just got nervous and he was like, didn't know what to say, because it came off as really.
I think he thought he
Defensive.
might have gone home.
Yeah.
And he really had to. I mean, he was like, "You see me pump out great stuff for weeks." So
Do you think he
But
probably
have we?
I think we've seen a couple good things.
Yeah, but overall, I
Betty
wouldn't say
Boop
he's
was
like.
he just lucked out for winning that because no one made anything that was like,
I thought he did a
resembled
great
Betty
job
Boop.
for that, but I just think he hasn't been consistent. I think his taste level is really questionable.
It's a little slutty.
Which I mean, it can work. You can make it work.
I think
and you
because
can make it look sexy and high end and be stylish and incorporate
Every time a
his,
designer on Project Runway tries to do like this bondage high fashion thing, it never ever works out.
No.
It always ends up being cheap and trashy. And I mean, it's like
We're
I feel
gonna
like
get
it's almost
to that
like a
in
shock
the
value
next
thing.
One too. Shock value. Well, I did. You guys hate the coloring. I think the one thing this look did have going for it was the texture mixed with the color looked kind of like Pluto, like the colors. Like
Yeah.
if you look at a picture of Pluto,
But it
on the
doesn't have to
internet-
be literal. That's not what the design is about.
Well, it's not literal. I feel like it all mixed together, kind of like overlaying each other, kind of gives that. But individually, looking at each of the prints, they're all super ugly. So like when they're all put on top of each other, it's kind of like, oh, I can't really tell what this is. So it looks like kind of like a porous surface of a planet.
yeah.
I think just the idea of like he has these weird chaps with the flare and like the long that could in a silhouette in of itself is really
I wasn't
creative.
getting chaps from that.
But whatever you
but
wanna
it,
call
but it
it.
was, yeah, I
It
know
was
he
a
said
cool
that.
idea, and that should have been the focus of the outfit, not like this and this, and this, and this, and then a 70s couch and some glue.
Yeah, yeah.
And
the-
it's
like Isaac Mizrahi said, that fabric is very like hotel you want to get out of.
Yeah, like 1970s vibes.
But you don't always have to mix like 20 good ideas or 20 bad ideas for that matter. But like he had a good idea, like something there that I haven't seen before.
I feel like
I ain't
yeah.
seen anything
Bring
like
attention
it.
to that instead of, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I
though?
feel like he just put everything together and put it underneath the glue, and then just put the glue layer on top and called it a day.
And
So
then
that's
there was
what
like
he
a
did.
corset
Yeah.
thing underneath it too, and you don't even
Yeah,
see
yeah,
all
yeah, yeah.
these things, and you're like, why did you work so hard?
That's right, because Anne called it out. She's like, "What are you gonna do with that corset?" And he's like, "I still don't know, but I know I want to implement it somehow." But
It
I
almost
can't
would have
even
been
see
better
it.
the
on
most
top.
work in,
Yeah.
I feel like, of anyone. I mean, maybe questionably with Fabio. Fabio's looks like it took a long time to do that quilting on that, but I mean, I don't think it looked great.
You're like quilting while you roll your eyes.
Yeah, these looked like they took the longest amount of time, but kind of with gosh, I forget their names because they're so boring. Anthony, kind of like with Anthony's dress, that chest piece. I mean, the hat I could have lived with and laughed about, but that chest piece is unforgivable. I gave it 1 star. It just.
Same.
Michelle hates it.
We should move on before Michelle gets really feisty. Well, I can feel her vibes right now.
We were talking about bondage and how they all kind of like cop out with that stuff. So moving on to the next outfit, we've got Stanley, who did this total bondage type of mask, which I thought was like a cheap gimmick to distract from the outfit.
Yeah, and I've seen it before a million times.
Like.
Exactly.
People don't even
like
do
that.
it anymore because it's so boring. You liked it.
I thought it was different. It's like a fencing mask. I was like, okay, it's different from this runway. I mean, I've seen it before.
But how does that make
Let's
sense?
evaluate the outfit without that. Is just this outfit, it won tonight.
You know what?
I didn't get it.
You know what I saw? I think it would, because it's like the solar eclipse. I thought this portion of the mask was part of the eclipse, and then the white would come over it.
Is that what his inspiration was?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think I just took it super literal, like just seeing this mask on her.
Like light and dark.
Light and dark, and being covered, and then having the white aspect, kind of brush up against her.
I kind of wanted to like the pants, but they weren't avant-garde. They're just like some baggy, like.
I like the pants.
I mean, they're like something you get at Forever 21. They're just like baggy, like.
I think these are more
pants.
men's pants.
I don't
Look
know.
like a harem
The
pant
bottom
to
half
me.
to me just looked Three Musketeers. Like these little pantaloons with the boots. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm getting like a harem pant, but I love a harem pant.
Yeah.
But the sewing on this, the
we
whole
saw
white
that.
part should have been redone. Like we stopped on it and looked at it, and it looked like kind of like a teenager practicing on their sewing machine.
He needed
like,
to borrow some buckram from Merline.
Yeah, it was like the fabric was not having it. It was all puckered, and it looked like a turned inside out pillowcase. I just hated it. I don't know how it won.
The white part looked a little
I guess that was
sturdy.
avant-garde, the white bit.
It won because everything else was so terrible.
Well, I think you said it best. I gave it 2 stars. What about you guys?
I gave it 3 because I think I like it, the concept, more than I like the actual outfit. Like the eclipse with the white and the black and the peak and the shit, like
The mask was just a cheap shot.
the
to
mask
me.
I just could have done without, or like make it different. And I kind of like, to me, the mask was like the stars because he did have like the glitters on the mask.
The
Oh, I
glitters.
didn't see that.
I like it.
Yeah, and so it was like kind of like the moon being eclipsed, so it's the black and the white, and then the stars hanging out or something.
He is the only one that did a mask, and I'm really surprised no one did like a headpiece.
Because
Well, what's his
Everyone
name? Did a head,
does
Joshua
that.
did a little headpiece made out of glue, but it didn't work out for him.
that was like a hat, but
Yeah.
like I'm
'Cause it's
surprised no one
gimmicky.
had anything that. Well, I think you could have done something fun, but what Stanley did was just really like not innovative at all. If you're gonna make like some kind of face mask, that's what you're gonna make.
No, I just think he played it safe as well.
Yeah. Well, next up we have got Kimberly, and this was my least favorite out of the night. I wrote GHETTO exclamation mark. Sasha Fierce got in a fight at Hobby Lobby with Ariana Grande. This outfit is so crafty, and Jesse Ferguson called that out when he was like, I want that for my Christmas tree.
but no offense.
And she was like, you can have it.
Oh,
This
Lord.
to me looks like a bullfighter costume.
Oh my God,
Something
yeah,
that
yeah.
I would wear
Matador.
to a Halloween party, especially because the back, you could see her booty. And the bottom looks like it's just something she could have purchased at
She
Forever 21.
bedazzled it. She didn't sew the hem of it. It was all rough.
Yeah.
Those jewels on it, like, and on her face, I was like,
That was
come
the
on, you assholes.
worst. See, I
Like,
thought
what
it looked
the
like a
hell?
slutty Halloween costume too, but I thought it looked like a slutty clown.
Oh, because of her.
She has like a
this
neck
portion.
ruffle, and she's got like these little Harlequin things on her cheeks.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
And then
all she needs is a hammer.
And then Kimberly wore like this striped suit that looks also like it's from a circus on
She
the runway.
did. Yeah. I did like that jacket on her. Shout out Kimberly, like that. Oh, but no, this was awful, so bad. I was so mad at it, and I gave it a 0. And you literally talked me out of it because you were like, she did something. Like 0 means like no effort. And I was like, fine. I scratched it out and changed it. So I gave her a star. What about y'all?
Yeah, I gave her 1. I mean, I have been known to give 0s too, okay?
Yeah.
And this does look terrible, but when I see the, I can see there's...
It looks like it took no time to make.
But you see her in the workroom, and I could tell that she's, like, thoughtfully trying, even though it was a horrible train wreck. She was really trying to think about it, and it just went awry, you know?
I think a lot of the problems that these designers are encountering with, like, tacky stuff this year is because we're seeing a lot of glue guns. Like, I know we do see glue guns, and it's okay. I mean, you only have a certain amount of time. But we're seeing a lot of glue guns. And one outfit was even, I feel like there were so many glue guns. He's like, I'm inspired. I'll make a glue gun outfit.
What Joshua should have done is just poured glitter all over his hot glue, and then he would have had a real ice queen.
Oh.
And it could have looked kind of like space.
Yeah.
Like if it, glitter was caught in it.
Yeah.
I don't know. At least he's around to redeem himself for another week.
We'll see.
Well, Mayte, did you have anything nice to say about this outfit?
Just that I'd wear this for Halloween.
Okay.
I'd be a bullfighter.
Okay.
But she could have used pants, I think, instead of using what looks like a swimsuit underneath that.
And
Pants would have classed it up a little bit.
Yeah, just, give it some sort of flavor and some sort of, I don't know, it looks just a lot better.
and I know it's not really fashion, but you guys really hated the hair. I didn't mind the hair. I thought it was kind of funny.
Well, we were trying to figure out where the bangs came from. We're like, is that her hair or is that a wig?
Yeah.
So you're trying to figure out if they used the back of her hair.
Yeah,
to
because
make
it's
it.
coming from like right here, and it's like really long. And I don't know. But then she has a long braid in the back, so I'm like, it has to be like fake, right? I don't know.
It's that,
Yeah, we were trying to figure it out.
magic of the
Hairstyle.
Umberto hair salon.
Right, when the most interesting part is like you're trying to figure out what her hair is made
Yeah, I
of,
didn't say
then
good
your
for your
outfit is a
outfit.
failure.
No.
Yeah.
No. Failure.
Failure.
All right, well, we know how y'all feel about that. Edmund's up. He's our final contestant tonight. And I found that he was inspired by a quasar. You guys can look that up if you want to see what it looks like on Google. I feel like it's just really unappealing fabrics and more like modern tribal than like space.
Yeah. It looks outdated
I think
to
it's
me.
that white fabric that makes it have this tribal
It looks
vibe
like
to me.
Miss Universe. like
Oh, yeah,
like it looks like a sash, and it looks very
Miss
prom,
Universe.
like you know what I mean? Like it's like Miss Universe, but like it's
needs a
really
crown.
literal. Yeah. And everybody's like doing this weird like ratty hair, but it just looks like really prom or like beauty pageant to me.
I have a big problem with the hair on this model.
Yeah.
I feel like it doesn't do any favors for the outfit at all.
Not even her, when she walked down the runway, it didn't give anything in her face.
It is very like kind of like prom, and you're wearing a dress that you really can't rock, and you just are walking around feeling uncomfortable. I don't know. I might have wrapped all that wrapness. I might have wrapped that in that white fabric.
Oh yeah.
Like maybe like kind of like hit it. I don't know. It's just not cute. I don't know.
I kind of do understand like this white printed piece kind of
Explain it to me then,
because I
please.
feel like if you look at I don't know what was the
A quasar.
I was thinking
It was like a
Milky
nuclear
Way.
explosion
I
going
know
both
to
ways.
me it was more Milky
Yeah.
Way because you see this band that's being woven throughout and kind of moving in and out, and that part I understand the space, but it just the shape of it and stuff looks so like, hi, I'm in the 90s and I'm trying to make a space outfit, like from The Fifth Element or something like the.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a big problem for these designers is either they do whatever they want and they don't really consider what the actual challenge is and they just try to make a story up at the end, or they do it so literal that it just looks dumb.
Yeah.
And, with something like this, like make it all one color fabric and have the fabric inspired by that. Maybe it's like a green shimmery something that looks like it's exploding. But just like leave the rest of the quasar thing alone. You know, it's like you don't have to make like a they're either too literal or they're just doing whatever they want.
Right. You know what's so sad too is that Anne should be that person to tell them and guide them on what to do.
She did this week because she said you guys were way in your comfort zone last week, which basically means you're boring and you're just making what you want to make.
I wish she would just come out and say that though. Hey guys, this sucks. Yeah. Make it work. You know, like I feel like when Tim goes in there, he tries to see the best in the designers and in their individuality, but at the same time, I feel like he's more honest. He'll go in there and be like, listen, I don't think this is a good idea.
He's a lot more personable with them.
Yeah. Like, Anne's, like, totally over it. She's like, this season sucks and I don't want to be here.
She's, like, dead behind the eyes. She's like, okay.
Well,
like,
when it came...
this is what I have to do. They pay me to do this.
When it came up... when she went up to Joshua, she felt that, you know, he was kind of defensive. So she was like, okay, keep doing what you're doing, and that's it. And she walked away.
Yeah, and I feel like maybe that's why...
Maybe he scared her.
Maybe she's part of the reason that some of the designers are not feeling it. I don't know. Like,
well, they were talking Anne trash today. They were like, Anne, yeah, well, whatever. I'm doing what I want.
I'm gonna put sparkles on my dress no matter what.
Yeah. They were having a little Anne off tonight.
But I think that you kind of need that when you're creating. You need someone to bounce ideas off of, and you sometimes use other designers, but you kind of are looking to that mentor who's seasoned, you know, like in regular Project Runway, they have Tim, and sometimes it makes or breaks whatever you're working on.
Maybe she's too seasoned. Maybe she needs to go out to pasture.
I just don't think she's invested emotionally.
Yeah, and they just...
Does anyone know what her clothing looks like?
Is she a designer?
I feel like she's like a teacher or something. Or, I mean...
She's an editor.
Yeah.
She dresses really boring, so I have no idea what she thinks is good style. Like you never see her in anything like.
It's pretty basic.
I would love to see Nina be a mentor.
Oh.
That would be amazing.
Actually, she would have a lot of input,
like,
right? Yeah.
I feel like she'd like quit, like.
No, I feel like she'd give some valuable advice, and I feel like the contestants would take her seriously because I feel like they take Anne as a joke.
Right.
They take her more as a joke than as someone who they respect, and they're like, oh, I should listen to her, and I should get her input. But instead, they're like, haha, laughing right after everything's done, and she's out the door.
Nobody's laughing at Nina.
Yeah. Nope.
It's just Anne looks like a teacher. Like she has like teacher clothes. Like I'm like, well, why are you telling these people what to do when you come in here looking like that? But then again, well, we won't get into Alyssa Milano's style. But
she dressed so literal today too. Hi, I have a dress with stars on it. Two of them.
Two.
Yeah.
Two.
The first one I liked. The second one reminded me of a ballerina Barbie that I used to have when I was really little. It was like pink with stars on it.
She was a ballerina space princess.
Yeah. Well, what are they saying in the chat about this episode? Because I feel like all our people out there I feel like they feel kind of probably the same way as us. Because if Hannah was here, she'd have been the same. But like.
Olga says Nina as a mentor would be the best. Her comments and judging are always honest without being cruel or dismissive, which is true. And then. Charlene says, this season's designs have not been very innovative. And then Charlene also says they definitely need a better mentor. And commentator 541 says, well, maybe they need seamstresses.
You say that was Char in there saying that?
Charlene, hey, Char.
No. Char's like low key, like dropping bombs.
Yeah. And then commentator 541 says, I can't believe the runway this week.
Yeah.
So.
We knew you guys felt the same way as us. It's just.
Oh, and Totally Jersey says this whole season has been disappointing. I feel like everyone just gets us.
Yeah. I think we're speaking for the masses here at AfterBuzz.
We hear you. We support you. We back you up.
Yeah, for sure. Well, any last thoughts before we head out tonight?
Jesus.
It needs to get better.
Double elimination.
Yeah. Double elimination.
Mayte and I are all about double elimination. We want to see this show get on the road.
Triple elimination?
Oh my gosh. Has there ever been a triple elimination in Project Runway
Not
history?
that I know
Let's set a precedent.
Yeah.
Who do you guys want to see in the finale?
Oh.
Anthony. I want to see Anthony
let's
win
look.
this.
Like top 3. Because sometimes they do 4, but pick your 3.
Yeah. I would pick Joshua, Merline, and Ken.
It's so hard. I would pick Merline too.
I would
wanna
just be
see
curious to
Merline.
see if it's the same dress and
Yeah.
just like 10 different colors.
Yeah.
come
Yeah.
out.
Oh, I don't know.
I would do Anthony, Merline, and Joshua.
You know,
Just because I like his fun designs and I need to see a little bit of action.
I love
going on.
Anthony, but like, I feel like his design's been losing a little steam. They're not quite as exciting. He was my fan favorite, but not for his clothes. I don't have a favorite, which makes my mom sad. She's like, "You don't have a favorite?" It's like, no, I don't.
That
Like,
is kind of
maybe.
sad. That says a lot about the
Like,
season.
you're hosting
Yeah.
a show that you love,
Yeah.
and you don't have a favorite.
Usually
You
we're
just
like
don't watch
arguing
it.
like, no, so-and-so's gonna win. No,
Yeah, we're all just
no."
like, take them all.
We get aggressive towards the end and
Yeah,
very
yeah,
defensive
yeah.
when it's someone we like.
Yeah.
But
It just needs to pick up. Like, come on, guys. Like, we're rooting for you. We want you to do good, well.
Part of
This
me
is just-
doesn't think that Merline might make it that far. I think
don't
they
know if
might
she
get
will either,
sick
but
of her
want,
shit.
I want to see a mini collection or whatever they do.
Why not?
Like, whatever she wants to do, without, like, the
Yeah.
parameters of a challenge.
I think Joshua will definitely get there. Just because he's kind of like takes more risks.
He's the only one.
Half the time they're good. Half the time we don't get it. Like he's the only one that gets it. But I don't know. They really like Fabio. I don't know why they like him so
Do they?
much.
I don't think they do.
I think there are some times where they do, and there are some occasions where they just don't. I think today they did. Really
I'm
like
surprised
him.
Stanley's still here. I think he'll probably either go home soon or he'll go to the end.
I think he'll go home soon.
Just too boring for me. He needs to work for like Ann Taylor.
Yeah.
Is that even still around?
Ann Taylor Loft, yes.
Oh, okay.
My cousin used to be a general manager at the one in Memphis, Tennessee.
Ooh.
I know, it's so fancy.
And Taylor Loft.
All right, y'all. Well, we had so much fun with you tonight, as usual. I feel like you guys are the most fun part of this episode.
Hell yes.
Thank you all for joining in on the chat, letting us know your thoughts, and letting us know that we're not crazy and that the rest of the world is on the same page as us. Tell everybody where they can find you guys off of the AfterBuzz network.
Social media.
Yeah.
You guys can find me everywhere at Mayte Carrillo _
You guys can find me on Instagram at Uberreste, and my website is michelleUberreste.com.
Yeah, go check it out. Michelle just did this really sick cage dress, which I was like oohing and awing over.
And I just
That's
put
really
this
cool.
jacket on sale, too.
Oh,
You made that?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's
That
bejeweled.
stitching is-
Should we sell this out?
I was looking at it earlier. That stitching is so good.
Oh,
I love it. I would have never imagined that was made by hand, but I guess I need to come over to your house. I want to see all your
I
stuff.
just sit at home and sew all day, so.
I'm gonna come over and see all your stuff. Well, I'm Michael Shirley, and if you can't get enough of me, you can see me on Mondays on Marvel TV Weekly, and I'll also be doing the upcoming Heathers panel, which I'm excited
that is
about.
exciting.
I can bring out my mean girl. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
I thought you already did.
I know,
Yeah, I
right? I'm really strict on this panel. So until next week, you guys, we'll see you later.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.